Last week we studied the short history of Hebrew language, and then we study Hebrew alphabet along with the Hebrew alphabet song. Let's start with the sing Hebrew alphabet song. Do you still remember? Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, He, Vav, Zayin, Het, Het, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samet, Ayin, Pe, Tzadeh, Kof, Resh, Shin, Shin, Tav. And today we are going to start with the alphabet writing. And before we do that, go to the page 11. Let's get something overview about consonant. Like I mentioned last class, Hebrew alphabet is only consonant. So Hebrew alphabet is made up of 20 consonants. As we know, we have a shin and shin. So shin and shin is a variation of one consonant. So it counts as one consonant. That's why when you look at here on our alphabet chart, it just counts as one consonant. So that gives us the total 22 alphabet. And as you may already know, when I write it down the Hebrew written and read from right to left. So in English, also Greek, we start from the left to right when we write. But Hebrew is written and read from right to left. That's an ancient custom. So no distinction between capital, small, and cursive. Because we're learning the classic Hebrew. I know modern Hebrew, they have a cursive. But as you see our original text, Hebrew text, there is no such cursive. And there is no capital, no lowercase letter. So all one Hebrew alphabet. But as we learn already the Greek has capital letter and then lowercase letter. But Hebrew is all just one. So no distinction. And then the numeric value, we also had a numeric value in Greek. So, and then that time I was explaining it is not the absolute value. They are using the alphabet to express the number. So Hebrew is the same. And the numeric value for Hebrew letter, I have the chart over here. So in some case, in dates and in Bible reference, Hebrew letter can function as number. For example, Aleph stands for 1, Bet for 2, and so on. So when you look at here, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, He, Vav, Zayin, Het, Tet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you see here Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pe, Tzadeh, Kof, Resh, Shin, Shin is counted as a 1, and Tav. Shin, Tav. So the following table lists the numeric value for letter that I just explained. So to avoid the confusion with the word letter meant as numbers are marked, geresh, which means a single quote mark, apostrophe in English, if a single letter is used, or gerashim, which means double quote mark if more than one. These marks mean not a word and are also used for acronym and abbreviation. So gerashim, whenever you see im means Yod. Yod sound is E, right? E. And then Mem. Mem sound is M. That's why Im. So when that's the Im, that is the whenever you see the Im, that can be dual or plural. Dual or plural. So in advance, the word ma'im, mem, yod, mem, ma'im. So ma is a one syllable, im, that is the second syllable. So when yod, mem become one syllable, that is the dual noun. But we know Elohim, right? Elohim. As you see, there's a yod mem. But him is one syllable. So yod mem is an independent syllable that makes the dual noun. But him is the one syllable, not yod mem is not independent of the syllable because it's a him, which is he is sound, e yod mem. So him. So whenever yod mem is not independent syllable like Elohim, that makes plural noun. So here is a gere shaim. So now you know this is plural. That's why here it says double quote mark. Shaim. So it's a dual. Im. So gere shaim, which is a double quote mark placed before the last letter in the string. So let's just explain how the Hebrew express the number. But in the Bible, you will see not this numeric value, but just number itself. Not this number, but number. Like 100 means, based upon here, you can express 100 is kop. Kop numeric value is 100, but there is a 100 in Hebrew word, which is me'ah. Mi, aleph, he. This means 100. So, as I mentioned, the number has the meaning in Hebrew, since Hebrew language is a meaning letter. So those are just how to express the number in the numeric value. But as you see here, I highlighted here the reason why 15 is not expressed by yod het. Because when you look at the yod het, we know yod is 10, right? And then 15, he, right? So it's supposed to say yod he express 15, but look at here, it's not 15, right? 15 express tet vav. There is a reason. Because 15 is not expressed by yod het, but by tav tet vav, which is, this is 9, this is a 6. That makes what? 15. The reason why that is because the sacred name of God, which is a Yehovah is what? 15, right? Yod He is 15. So they don't want to use the name of God to express number. So 16 is the same. 16 is not expressed Yod Vav, but by Tet Zayin, which is 9 and 7, that makes 16. So those are the same also. Yod Vav. That is the Yod Vav is the consists of Yehovah name. Yehovah. That's why 15 and 16 does not use when you express the number, because it is sacred name of God. Okay. So those are a little bit the summarized. Also, those are the final form, right? Final form, we saw that. Those are also expression of number like this, using as a final form. Okay? So, 500, cup, the final form, suffix of cup. 600, mem. Nun, 700. Pe, 800, 9, zade. And then 1000 you put like this, right? 2000, bet, apostrophe. Email, 3000, apostrophe like that. and such. But you will not see those in the Old Testament Bible. Okay, that's just the information for the numeric value. Also, there is a gematria. Gematria is method of interpretation that involves calculating a numeric value to words and names and looking for correspondences between words which have the same value. This method is often used in mystical interpretation of the scripture. Like, for example, people try to find out using those numeric value, okay, Aleph and Jehovah is the same number, or try to find out and those kind of a mystical interpretation. But we do not use gematria to understand the Bible, because Bible itself enough for us to know our salvation and God and Christos Jesus. As I just mentioned, there is 5 Hebrew letter has final form, right? In case of Greek, how many final forms we have? In case of Greek, we only have one, right? Which is sigma. So last Saturday, one of Korean class, we were study about cosmos. So that was one of the pronunciation rule in case of Greek, right? Kappa, Omicron, sigma, mi, Omicron, sigma, right? So sigma we have one only, regular form and the final form. But in case of Hebrew, we have 5 final form. When one of these letters occurs at the end of a word, it is written differently than when it appears at the beginning or in the middle of a word. Same thing in sigma rule in Greek, right? Whenever sigma comes in the beginning or middle of the word, we use the standard form. But we only use final form when sigma comes at the last letter of the word. So same principle here in case of Hebrew. So the changing of letters form, however, does not change its pronunciation or transliteration. Okay, so the sound doesn't change, but we use this suffix final form in case of that letter comes at the end of the position in the word, right? So for example, these are the 5 standard form: kap, mem, nun, pe, jade, right? And then those are the final form. So example, derek. This is a derek. Okay, the last one supposed to be a kap, but we use, since this comes at the last, we use suffix, which is a final form. Okay, derek means way. So in case of using this regular form, since mem comes the last of the word, so we use the final form. Means people. But M, same consonant, but M means mother. So depends on how you pronounce. People, mother. So it doesn't look like there's a relationship between people and mother, right? But there is a relationship. And then the third one is nun, right? Nun. So nun, regular form, nun, final form. So man, this is a man. You see the nun comes the last letter. So instead of use the regular form, you use final form. So ma'an. Man means purpose. So the pe, jup. So honeycomb. You see the pe comes the last one, so final form. And then jade, we know this one, eret. So jade comes last, so instead of use the regular form, use the final form, right? So eret means earth. So those are the final form. Again, those 22 letters alphabet in Hebrew, same as Greek, 27, we have to memorize it. 24 Greek, 22 Hebrew. Also, there is Begadkephat. Begadkephat. We call the Begadkephat consonant, which is 6 consonant. You see here, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Kaf, Pe, Tav. We pronounce this one just for easy to memorize it. You see here, Begad, right? Begad, Kephat, Begadkephat. So when you look at our Hebrew alphabet chart here, you see the dot here, right? Be, da, du, ke, ha, t. Right? So we call those consonants as a Begadkephat consonant, which is Begadkephat consonant letter. Those are 6 consonants. Have 2 possible pronunciations. Okay? And are known as Begadkephat consonants. So to distinguish between the 2 pronunciations, a dot called Dagesh lane was inserted into a consonant. So when you look at the chart, you see Begadkephat letter only show the dot inside, right? And then they call the Dagesh lane, the dot. The presence of Dagesh lane indicates a hard pronunciation. So bet, we know bet. Without Dagesh lane is bet, right? But since you see Dagesh lane on the dot, Begadkephat letter, you have to pronounce what? More, stronger, harder. So instead of be, you said be. G, little stronger, right? So Begadkephat letter. So hard pronunciation, and its absence denotes a soft pronunciation. If you don't see the Dagesh lane, it is soft pronunciation. Okay, the Dagesh means, it says Dagesh is a Dagesh, Dalet, Gimel, Shi. So Dagesh means emphasis, which is a harder, stronger. Okay. So any Hebrew letter except the guttural means the throat sound. We're going to study later. So any Hebrew letter can have a dot inside of it called Dagesh mark. So not only Begadkephat letter can come this Dagesh lane, but any letter can come Dagesh mark. Okay? So there are 2 kinds of Dageshim, that's why. Dagesh lane and Dagesh porte. So Dagesh lane is a Begadkephat letter. That can be placed on the 4th letter of a word or 4th syllable within 6 letters. It hardens the sound pronunciation because Dagesh means emphasis, right? The Dagesh lane is never preceded by a vowel. And then Dagesh porte, we're going to study this one later. And then how to distinguish, then is this Dagesh lane or Dagesh porte? There's a difference. Okay, so we are going to study this one later. Also, the guttural letter cannot be Dagesh lane. We say that because there is no way, impossible, because that is the one. Throat sound, how can you sound strong? Because it's all open. So that makes sense, right? So we're going to study those guttural letter later. Okay. So go back to the alphabet. Let's practice how to write Hebrew alphabet. So go to textbook page 6. Page 6. And then look at the screen. Also you can practice with your finger. And then inside your textbook, I put the blank page. You can practice how to write, also practice the writing the Hebrew alphabet. Okay. So again, Hebrew start from right to left, right? Okay. So the first letter is Aleph. So it doesn't have to follow this order exactly, but try to do your best to write it down as close as possible on the textbook. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, right? So to me, I used to write the Aleph. I put this one first, right? You may know, right? Then like this, right? So it's up to you. So anyhow, this is how to print on the book. Okay. So as close as possible. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that's the Aleph. Aleph. What's the sound of Aleph? Silent, right? Silent. No sound.
No sound.
No sound. Aleph doesn't have sound. Okay. And then next letter is Bet. Bet. So 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2. Make sure you cross longer on the bottom, right? Because we see there's a noon, but it's not crossed, right? Mm-hmm. So you need to be careful on that one. So bet. So 1, 2. So make sure you passing this line, okay? So bet. Next one, Gimel. So bet is B sound, right? B sound. Next one is Gimel. Gimel is 1, 2, 3. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Then there says 2, right? So 1, 2. So as close as possible. Gimel. So when you write down the Hebrew alphabet, think about the window. Divide by 4 like this. Okay. So Aleph goes to 4 window, right? And then Bet. And then Gimel is the half. Okay? Gimel is half. The size. Okay? Gimel. Next one is Dalet. Dalet is this, right? Dalet. 1, 2. Okay? Dalet. So Dalet. Okay. And then the next one, Dalet is D sound, right? D. Dalet. Next one, Hey. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you have a space here because this is windpipe. Okay. The air has to come into the house, right? Okay. The air has to come into the house. When you are in the house, you can look at the star through what? Through this window. Okay. It's a Hey. Okay. So guttural letter, right? Throat sound, right? Hey. What's the sound of Hey? It's an H sound, right? Hey. It's open, right? Hey. Next letter is Vav. Vav is the half, right? Okay, half. Vav. Make sure Dalet is full size, right? But Vav is just half window, okay? Half window. Vav. And then next one, Vav is V sound, right? V. And then some textbook says W sound, like a ooh, wow. But we here in this class is Vav is V sound. V. Vav. Next one is Zayin. Zayin is similar to Vav, but do not confuse. So Zayin is like this, right? Zayin. 1, 2, right? More sharp, more here and here, right? But Vav is round shape, right? Round shape. Zayin. Next one is which is different from the hair, right? Hair is open, but still the throat sound, but CH sound, which is closed. It is fenced. Fenced. So God does not allow Adam and Eve get into the Garden of Eden, right? He what? Fenced. This is a fenced. Okay, it's the fence. Okay, look at this. Our tabernacle. It is all fenced. We only have one door here, right? Hair. Hair got windpipe, but closed, right? Fence. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Or for your convenience, 1, 2. Okay. Whatever case you feel convenient. Okay. Next one, tet. 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 So when we learn the meaning of alphabet, tet is snake. Okay, tet is snake. So tet. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So write like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you can follow the line. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And the next one is yod. Yod, right? Yod is not even half. Okay. So yod is the smallest letter in Hebrew alphabet. Okay. Yod is just one square here. Okay. Yod. Okay. Yod. So just like one dot, right? Just dot, like dot, right? Dot. Yod. Yod. Yod is what? Hand. Power. The name of God starts with what? Yod. Right? So God's hand. Power. Hand. Yod. Okay. So similar one, the smallest one in Greek is what? Iota, right? Iota is small. Right? Small like this, right? So yod is smaller than iota. Same E sound, right? E sound. Next letter, cup. Cup. So cup is like this. Okay? Okay? It's like a hollow palm. We used to call hollow palm. Okay? So cup. Cup. Like a spoon, something contained. Okay? So cup like this. Okay? Cup. Like you know the horse. What do you say on the horse? You put some metal on the. So that's the cup. That's the cup. Next one, lamed. Lamed. Okay. Lamed is bigger than the window. Okay. So lamed is the biggest letter in Hebrew alphabet. So lamed starts from here. Okay, above the window. Okay. So lamed. Lamed. See the lamed, right? 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Lamed. Lamed is gold. The whip. Okay. The shepherd used the lamed, right? The step. Shepherd step is lamed. So this is lamed. To educate, to teach. So lamed. Lamed. So lamed is sound of L, right? L. L sound. Lamed. Next letter. Mem. 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 So mem start with 1, 2, 3. Okay? So make sure you have it like this, okay? Because we have a Sophist form, right? Sophist form is what? Exactly square, right? Sophist, which is the final form, is exactly square. But the regular form, mem. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Mem. Next one is nun. So mem is water. We're going to study those alphabet meaning. Water is knowledge, thought, right? And next one is nun. Okay? Nun is the half window. Okay, half window. So nun. Okay? 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay? Either or. 1, 2 or 1, 2. Whatever case may be. Okay? But do not go beyond this line, right? Because it becomes what? Bet. Right? But bet is bigger anyhow. But do not confuse between bet and nun. Okay? Nun. Nun is fish. Who is the son of Nun? Joshua in Old Testament, right? So nun is continuous. Nun-shaped pictograph is the sperm. Sperm. Continuous. Continuing. Okay? The fish lay a lot of eggs, right? Continuous. So we're going to study those alphabet meaning. So nun. Next one, samek. Samek is like a circle, right? Circle. So 1, 2. So make sure a little bit, not full round shape. Little bit not round shape, right? So same thing. When we say sigma, it's a round, but you got something little tail here, right? Sigma like this, right? In Greek word, sigma. Like this. Some people write down the sigma like this. Some people just do like this. I used to do like that. The same thing, the samek, instead of a full circle like that, right? Let's make a circle shape. Okay, samek. Samek. Okay. Next alphabet is Ain. 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 Ain is I. I is Ain. 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 So Ain is 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2. So 1, 2. 1, 2. Ain. Next one, Ain also, as we learned last class, no sound, right? Silent. Okay? Silent. Same as Aleph. Aleph. Ain. Next letter. Pe. Pe. I used to write like this. Okay? I know it is more square type, right? It is like that. But to me, I used to like this. Pe. Okay? Pe. Pe is mouth. Mouth is pe. Pe. So when you think about mouth, what can you remind from Greek grammar, right? Mouth of God, right? The word comes from the mouth of God, right? Mouth. You have to have the mouth, which is you have to have pe. Pe. Okay? When you have eye, you have what? Mouth. Okay? So we're going to learn those things at the meaning. Next one. Jade.
Jade.
Jade. Okay? It's like a fish hook. Okay? So 1, 2. Okay? 1, 2. It's like a man's nose, right? You see here? Nose, right? Nose. Let's make a man's nose. Because the fish hook, you need to hook where? The nose, right? Jade. You see those cows that plow the ground? You have some make a hole on the nose, right? Right? So you can easy to control. Also horse too, right? Riding a horse, right? You have what? Hole on the nose, right? So jade. Next one. Kop. Kop. Which is a Q sound, right? Kop. Kop is a little down, right? Little down. So down the window, right? Down the window. Okay. So kop. 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 Kop is ear of needle, right? Ear of needle. So ear. Listen, right? You need to become a good listener to learn from Christos Jesus. You have to have a good ear, right? Kop. Ear. Next one. Resh. Resh. So do not confuse between resh and the dalet. We know dalet is the door, sharp, 90-degree angle, right? But resh is round. Okay, round. See the round? Round. Okay, resh. 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 Like this. Okay, resh. So resh, dalet. Okay, resh. Resh, dalet. Next one is shin. Just the position of that is different, right? It counts as the one letter. But shin, 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 shin. Just different dot. 1, 2. I used to just do like this. Like this. Okay. Shin. Shin is teeth. So you got upper, down, right? So you can press. Press to grind, right? So shin. So shin, shin. Okay. So it counts as just one letter. Okay. So let's put shin. Okay. The last one is tav. 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 Okay. You just put 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2. Tav. Tav. Okay. And then go back to the Sophia letter, which is a final form. Okay. We have a cup, right? Cup. The final form, make sure you are below the window, okay? Below the window. Because it's a final form. So cup is a long below the window, okay? So like this. Below the window, okay? So cup. Cup. And then next one is mem, right? Mem. Again, the regular form is this, right? The final form, square, right? Square. Square. So start 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The final form. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay?
Below the window?
Yes, it's a window size.
What?
It's a window. Only cup is below the window.
Okay.
And then noon is below the window, okay? Noon is below the window. So noon, we know the bob is this, right? But noon is more longer, okay? Longer. Noon. Noon. And then the last one, the next one is pe, right? Pe. 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 It's like this, right? We do regular form like this, right? So same thing, pe. So look at the cup and pe. Similar, right? But do not confuse. Okay? Pe.
Below the line?
Pe, below the line. Same length, cup, and then pe, but you see the shape is different. But these two dots, ignore that, okay? Ignore it. That is just sheba. Sheba. So we're going to study that's the vowel mark, okay? Vowel mark. That is not the consonant, okay? So the pe, the cup is Just this, okay? Cup. The dot, that is a mistake, okay? Don't concern about that. That is a sheba, which will be vowel mark. So when we study vowel mark, we're gonna study that one. So the consonant itself is this cup. Pay is, okay, final form. The last one in final form is jade, right? Jade. So we know regular form is this, like a nose, looks like a nose, right? But look at the jade. Jade you can just put like this. Okay? 1, 2. 1, 2. Jade. 1, 2. So we learned the jade eret, right? Eret, which is earth, right? So the jade comes to the last word. That's why put the final form, suffix. So let's practice one more time. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, He, Vav, Zayin, Het, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek. See? Or you can do this too. Samek. Ain, Pe, Pe. Okay. Pe. Jade. Jade. Kop. Kop. Resh. Resh. Shin. Shin. Tab. Tab. Shin Shin Tab. So during the weekdays, using that paper, okay, it should be in the textbook. Textbook. If you want, you can make up more copies. And then practice. Look at this one and then try to make the similar as close as possible. That's alphabet writing. Now let's move to the next page, page 7, the Hebrew alphabet meaning. On this chart, as you see, the numerical value and letter, and then the meaning, right? Meaning. And then on the meaning, the one here, this one we call the pictograph, ancient pictograph. So in order to have this letter that we use in the Hebrew text, this was before the font in Chinese character too. Chinese character also has pictograph. For example, in case of Chinese, I know some Chinese, the water is this. This is a water in Chinese character, but it starts the pictograph this, because it's flowing the water, stream, river, water. So this changed to like this. And also like a sun, for example, in Chinese character. Day, this is a day or sun. But this comes from the pictograph, sun, sunshine, right? So Hebrew letter is the same concept. It starts from the pictograph in long time ago. And then it becomes the letter like this. So Chinese letter is the same concept. So that's why we call this one is pictograph. So pictograph is ox head. Ox head. So you make a 1, 2, 3 like this. So the first letter is Aleph. 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 So name of the letter is Aleph. Aleph. But we are not studying the vowel mark yet. Before we learn the Hebrew alphabet meaning, I think it will be better to go to vowel mark, right? So that way you can read this one without having a problem. Okay? Then let's go to the instead of alphabet meaning, let's go to the vowel mark. Okay. Okay, look at the chart, vowel mark. Okay. You see the Hebrew vowel? Not on that page. Can you see the? Do I put in the back the vowel mark? Yeah. It is on the page 2 on the landscape. In the bottom part. Yes, there it is. So that one that you need to memorize on that one. But talking about the vowel, and there is very important point on the history on vowel mark. For thousands of years, ancient Hebrew was only written with consonant. The vowel mark does not exist. So for example, I know you don't know the Chinese, but I know Chinese. My last name is Kim, right? Kim. Kim, write it down this. Okay? This can pronounce 2 different ways. Okay? Kim is a last name. Kim. And then there's another Kum. Right? Kum. Kum means gold. Okay? Also, Kum, another meaning is metal. Metal. M-A-T-A-L. So then when can be a last name, when can be a gold, when can be a metal? People who learns beginning does not know, but people whose language is first language, the Chinese, is what? Automatic. Because you just learn from your parents. So Hebrew is the same. Hebrew was only written with consonant. There was vowel mark does not exist. So no vowel. When reading this text, they had to supply all of the vowel from memory. So without a vowel mark, they know how to read without vowel pointing. Okay? I just put as an example Genesis chapter 1 verse 1. This one is no vowel mark. Okay? But they can still read without having any problem. Like there is no such pronunciation, but they just say this letter Kim. Oh, his name is Kim. No problem, right? So that's why this is page 17. That's why without having the second vowel mark, this is the second one is with the vowel pointing, right? So without having no vowel pointing, no problem. They can read without having this. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim vet ha'eret. No problem, right? That's what it says here. They had to supply all of the vowel from memory. They memorized it. Okay? So in Korea, there is 1,000 Chinese characters. They have to memorize it. as they were young. So those vowel mark, they don't need any vowel mark. They know whenever they see the letter, this letter, Kim. They said Kim. So from memory, based on oral tradition. So the letter comes down generation to generation through oral. So they memorize it. So without having a vowel mark, no problem to read the sentence, right? Make sense? Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Some consonant were used as vowel, okay? Without no vowel pointing, right? Some consonant used as vowel, like Aleph. I know we learned the alphabet, Aleph doesn't have sound, silent. But sometimes they use Aleph and He as A sound. A sound. And then Yod, E or E. And then Vav, O or U. So among those consonant 22 alphabet, some consonants were used as vowels. Between the 7th and 9th century, which is not that long ago, okay? 7th century means 600 years to 700 years. Okay? 9th century means 800 years to 900 years. Okay? So it is not that long ago, which is after Christos Jesus. Okay? Which means original text doesn't have a vowel mark. There's no vowel pointing. But those Hebrew, Jewish, they have no problem to pronounce because it's oral tradition. Father teach to son, son teach to son, son teach to son. So Bereshit, para Elohim et Hashamayim et Haaretz. No problem. That's how you pronounce. From father to son, son to son, son to son. Until when? 7th to 9th century. So between the 7th and 9th century AD, a group of Jewish scribes called the Masoretes added vowel sign, which called the Hebrew word nikudat. Nikudat. So we call the Hebrew vowel, but the Hebrew word is, the sign is nikudat. Why is nikudat? Those are the dot. They use the dot, which is a vowel mark. Okay? So Masoretes added vowel signs, nikudat, cantillation symbols, and accent mark to the text, which did not exist in the original. It is not existed in original text. But why do they do that? Because people getting loose, memorize how to pronounce the word. But Chinese, they don't have a vowel mark. They have no problem to pronounce on Chinese character. But Masoretes, they create those nikudat so they can easily pronounce the letter. So this process came to be known as a Mesora. Mesora means tradition. Mesora. The mark text was called the Masoretic text. That's why those Hebrew texts that we have in our Bible, that is worked through the Masoretes, tradition of those Jewish group. And then we use Masoretic text to understand Old Testament. And it became the standard text for the Jews around the world. So nowadays, every Bible in Old Testament, original text, use Masoretic text. So which is the second line here. So we can learn the vowel mark and then Bereshit para Elohim et Hashamayim et Haaretz. Without a vowel mark, the Jewish, they had no problem to pronounce. So there's a very important concept on this historical background. Okay? Which means when we just say that on the final form, mem, ayin, right? is right? Remember? Right? And then it means what? People, right? But M means what? Mother. Okay? So those are power mark, M, but consonant is what? Same, right? So what the meaning is, those pronunciation is people created it. Who is it? Masoretes, they created it. Okay? But what the meaning is, when we study the word in Hebrew, same consonant, even though vowel mark is different, which result in the different pronunciation, but as long as is same consonant, that means same meaning. So people can be mother, mother can be people. Then why we call M is mother, why we call Am is people, there is certain concept. So we have to know the concept. That's why Am can be people, M can be mother. Actually today I did the word study introducing that Am and M. I would like to show you some more along with this one, because I need to emphasize on this one, because when we study Hebrew word study, as long as it's the same consonant, that is what? Same concept and meaning. So even though dictionary says people is Am and then M is mother, but consonant is the same. Consonant is the same. So when you look at the Am, M here, see, song number 517 is M. M. M is what? Mother. Mother as the what? Bond of the family. One whose arms, you see the English arm, M, arms hold the family together through her work and love. So look at the word. Aleph is ox head, which is a strength. And then water is mem, which means strong liquid. What is a strong liquid? Bond, B-O-N-D. Put stick together, right? So glue was made by placing the hides and other animal parts of slaughtered animals in a pot of boiling water. The arm that holds things together, the arm is seen as glue that encircles and holds together. So mother is hold together, the family members. Right? People is that hold with each other. They are the group of collective men, which is we call people. So there's a concept, strong liquid, which is bond and arm. So a cubit also created from this word. The cubit was the length of the arm from elbow to fingertip. That's called cubit. So this is mother. This is cubit. This is people. So mother of the family is one who binds the family together by holding in her arms and by the work of her arms. That's why 517 is M is mother, but look at Im. You see the letter is the same, but the vowel mark changed, so Im. Im is a desire to bind two ideas together, so it used as if in conditional clause. And then Ama. Ama is what? Hoping mother, right? Ama is bondwoman. Bond, glue woman. Glued. So one who is bound to another. Ama, same thing. Ama is mother, feminine. The forearm, which is a cubit. A door base, which is as a bond of the entrance. And then Ama, Aramaic word, cubit. And then Uma. Uma is family lineage bound together. people, tribe, nation. They are bonded with each other, right? Bonded together. And again, Ummah, same thing, is an Aramaic word, nation. So we know when we go somewhere, you see the flag and then we united, right? United nation as one. We united as one. Number one, USA. So nation is the one bond, people bond together under the flag that called United States. So all concept comes from that concept that create different concept, different name of the word. That's why it is critical the original text does not exist, vowel mark. Vowel mark. So when we study Hebrew, this part is very important. That's why. That's why without having that concept, you categorize because of different pronunciation, categorize different word. But it is same word, same category word. Okay. So next week, we are going to study the vowel mark. And then after finish vowel mark, we are going to study Hebrew meaning, Hebrew alphabet meaning. So that way, it will be easier for us to pronounce the letter, right? Easily, since we know vowel mark. So we study already the Hebrew alphabet, so we know the sound of pronunciation on each alphabet, right? And then with the vowel mark, so we can pronounce the word without having any problem. So we can study Hebrew alphabet meaning after study the vowel mark. Okay?